So Joe, John already opened the door about the mind, and how and why do you use the mind to approach problems with your clients?
Well, how we define the world is based on a foundational understanding of ourself. A deer is a deer. If you're a gardener, it's a pest. If you drive at night in the countryside, it's a killer. If it's venison, you're a chef or you like venison. It's all based on your own self-definition. And when a business defines itself, it's based on the self-definition that they've brought up through the years and on what the leader thinks it is. How we define any problem determines all the solutions our minds can't think of. How we define a problem and lock it in, what it is and what it isn't, already decides all the solutions we're not going to come up with. Does that make sense? And so when I can hear how the mind is processing, the individual and the collective mind is processing what this problem means and what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do, and what we can consider and what we can't consider, I'm able to bring an objective perspective to an understanding of the problem. Does that make sense? It's all meaning, behavior, outcome. And most people, you hire them to change the outcome. I want a different outcome. And I say, tell me how we're defining the problem. Then the behavior will always be in line with your definition. However you define anything or anyone, you'll behave directly to that definition. You can fake it for a little while, but not with any great consistency and not over time. Does that make sense?
Totally. But I've been working with you for a while, so I have a little head start, and it took me a while to understand a lot of your material. So
yeah, it's a bit heady. But what I like about when I committed to this work 30 years ago is if we understand the way the mind naturally works, then we can use the way the mind works when we're communicating a notion to another human being. Our hands work the same. We have different hands, but they work the same. And our minds have a mechanic to it that works the same way. I'll get into some of what happens when you have a notion and you're trying to communicate it to another mind, and how a leader is basically an influencer. Most of the people in this room don't make the thing that makes you the most money. You don't touch it. You're not near it. You're leading an organization of people who think and behave a certain way. And the more you understand about how to influence their mind individually and collectively as a group, the more you can get them to suspend an idea that they may already have locked in and consider your new notion. And when you do that, you're a leader. You just led a mind to another idea that they might be able to embrace. And that's when organizations jump and grow and move. And I've got several clients in here today that will probably, you'll see, wanting to jump up and tell their story.